Hey everyone, TJ here again, flying solo, Michigan Conservative Roundtable. Man, what the heck happened at Wendy's last week? Rashard Brooks, man by the name of Rashard Brooks, was shot and killed by 2 Atlanta police officers, and now that city's on fire. That place is going crazy. For starters, I've watched the video, okay? And I'll just cut to the quick here. I do not agree with the murder charges that were brought against the Atlanta police officers. There was a struggle. A man by the name of Rashard Brooks in a Wendy's drive-thru, and it was the same Wendy's that ultimately was burned down by the mob. But Rashard Brooks, driving while drunk, passes out in a Wendy's drive-thru, blocking traffic. Wendy's calls the police. Atlanta police officers Garrett Rolfe and Devin Brosnan respond. They wake him up, and during the course of their discussion, determine that the guy's drunk, and they make the decision that they're going to arrest him, take him into custody. Of course, he doesn't want to be arrested, and begins a struggle. And in the course of the struggle, the one police officer, I believe Devin Brosnan, gets a concussion. But he breaks loose, and just prior to breaking loose, he's able to grab one of the tasers off of the police officers. He runs. The police pursue, and as the foot chase begins, Rashard Brooks, twisting his upper torso, attempts to shoot the pursuing police officer. It's believed he was aiming at his head. The police officer returns fire with his sidearm, striking Rashard Brooks, and Rashard Brooks would later pass away at a hospital. So now Atlanta's going to charge Garrett Rolfe with murder, and the penalty could involve execution or life in prison. And they're going to charge, let me get this right here, Devin Brosnan 4 counts of aggravated assault, which, if convicted, could be 20 years in prison. As I've already said, I don't agree with this. I've watched the video. There's multiple videos, so there's really no question what happened. There's amateur video, which I'm going to comment on here later. There's amateur video, there's body cam video, and there is a security camera video from one of the buildings with a bird's eye view of the struggle and shots fired. You got so much video from so many different angles, it's pretty apparent what all happened, okay? Also, if you watch the YouTube channel Officer Tatum, and I'd really encourage everyone, if for no other reason, watch the YouTube channel Officer Tatum. He goes almost frame by frame, breaking down what the police did, why they did what they did, and Officer Tatum, he too does not agree with the charges brought against these 2 police officers. So if you want a breakdown of what happened and the why behind what the officers did, that was a pretty good viewing also. Officer Tatum on YouTube. Okay. So Rashard Brooks has died. The officers are charged with murder. Now Atlanta's being burned down, and it is reported that about 70 Atlanta police officers have walked off the job. I don't know if this is permanent or if they were just calling in sick, but I guess the number got as high as 70 there in Atlanta. The website, The Right Scoop, and that's one of my favorite sites, The Right Scoop. They released a Twitter thread from an ONYXU on Twitter, and it was given like a, and this individual claims to be the wife of an Atlanta policeman. On June 17th at 9:14 p.m., she tweets, "Prayers, please. Husband is Atlanta PD, stuck at HQ because the protesters are surrounding it. All zones have walked off the job and other shifts have called in." That was on a Wednesday night. Thursday, 10 minutes after midnight, she tweets, "Do not believe the Atlanta mayor or CNN. They," and I'm assuming the police, "they asked for help from other jurisdictions and they all said no. The dispatchers just walked off the job." Then later on June 18th at 2:05 p.m. she tweets, "Just got confirmation. Atlanta Police Department is still silent. Chiefs are freaking out. Your voices are being heard. We will not be your political pawns, ever. For 20 years, my family has sacrificed everything to make the city of Atlanta better. We have zero leadership." 3:17 on June 18th, 3:17 p.m. She tweets, "Did you know that 60% of Atlanta Police Department is African American? Do you honestly think they will be standing by their fellow officers if this was a race issue? No. Many of us condemned what happened to George Floyd. This is not the same. It's all political." She also screenshots a tweet from G2G Staffing company, and in this G2G Staffing screenshot she posts, it's basically kind of an advertisement for applicants, and it's basically saying they need to hire as many as possible, CPL holders, prior military. What it appears is, it says they're going to Atlanta. The suspicion is they might have been used to, I'm going to guess, guard the police stations. But in any event, this G2G Staffing was going to, and they're out of Iowa too, of all places, was going to hire as many people as possible, and for whatever reason, Atlanta was requesting their help. So she screenshotted that, and I thought that was interesting. June 18th at 8:15 p.m. She tweets, 70 resignations as of right now from Atlanta Police Department, and the silence from leaders is deafening. In regards to this shooting of Rayshard Brooks, and I made reference to the amateur video. The people, they were sitting in their car as the two police officers were struggling with Rayshard Brooks. So with their cell phone, they were taking amateur video. And as you watch the amateur video, and I've watched this amateur video, you can hear them laughing. Oh, it's funny. It's a real big joke, funny, ha-ha, until shots are fired, and then they stopped laughing. You know, real funny until shots were fired. Just typical of today, I guess. And originally I wanted to talk on the issue of defunding the police, and then this developed, so I felt compelled to comment on this scenario first. But this is being used as another example of why the Democrats and the progressives and the out of control mob want to defund the police. They're trying to take this Atlanta situation and compare it to what happened to George Floyd in Minneapolis, and the two situations are hardly similar. Okay, but I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Maybe I'm just going to keep saying it. The Democrats would sooner risk anarchy than maintain any kind of a police presence. I've begun to wonder if they want to do away with local police so that they could institute some kind of national police force. And I thought this also. That is exactly what President Obama wanted to do. If you recall, when President Obama was in office, he was advocating for a national police force. And I'm wondering if this is the end game for the Democrats here. Even worse, someone had mentioned that maybe they might want to try and bring in some kind of peacekeeping force from the UN. I don't think I'm quite that conspiratorial yet, but at this point, I never thought we'd be where we're at. So I guess in some regards, anything's possible. And in conclusion here, I'd like to reference a tweet Dan Bongino put out just a few days back, and it's he doesn't say what department this female police officer is with, but you have a female police officer. She does a pre-order and a prepay for a drive-through at McDonald's, a breakfast drive-through, and it becomes apparent to her as she goes to pick her order up that something's not right. And she suspects they're messing with her order, and she pre-called and prepaid just so that the order would be ready and she'd be in and out that much more quickly. But she realizes something's not right, and so they bring her coffee, but tell her, "Oh, your food's not ready. It'll be out in a minute." And she tells them, "Keep your coffee, keep your food, keep your money, no thanks." And she drives off. And as she's making her self-video, I'll call it, she begins breaking down in tears and just asking what's wrong with society. Why are people treating police like this? And as I was watching this video, I just I felt bad for her, and honestly, I just the more I watched it, for me, it was just another reason for me getting angry with the way things are right now. It's disgusting, sad, it's infuriating, and I was just compelled to share that tweet that Dan Bongino put out just last week. So that's it. My rant is concluded on this one. This is TJ in disgust, signing off with, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.